So the theme is filling your bucket. Fill your bucket. Our bucket is so full of so many things. But when we come home, what's in that bucket? What's in on the table? But how do you fill your bucket up with the right things? And sometimes don't fill the bucket up with the right things, not at home, but it starts at the grocery store. So, as a registered dietitian and a culinarian and a hardcore foodie, it really does start at home with when you want to fill that bucket up with the right things. Let's start with a list. Leave your children at home. I have a 4-year-old granddaughter, and I can't take her to the store with me anymore because she fills my bucket up with a lot of the wrong things that she wants, and she will show out. And I said, "Oh, I got to leave this little girl at home because she's embarrassing me in Publix and Walmart, and we got to do better." And
Miss
they are,
Roniece, Miss
yes,
Roniece,
yes.
one of your cameras is still off. The one you're facing, not this one, the other one.
That one is on. No, both cameras are on.
It's okay. It's just the camera you're looking into. We can't see that, but that we can still see the front of your. We can see that lovely kitchen and that lovely countertop, but we can't see.
Can you see the cooktop?
Now we're upside down. We're laying on our side.
Really? Okay, I'll
This
leave
is
it.
fine. This camera right here is perfect.
The
That's
one that
fine.
I'm manipulating now.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's fine.
Okay, that's my cell phone. The other one is my laptop.
Yeah, this is fine.
Hold on. I think I know what the problem is. How about now?
Yeah, it's okay. We're having just a little bit of bandwidth issue, and that's not your problem. I don't think we're frozen. Here we go. Something.
How's that?
I
I,
can see you, but now we can't see the other camera we don't see anymore.
hmm. And they're on two separate Zoom accounts. Uh, okay.
That,
How's that?
that's good. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Very good. All right. So when we are in the grocery store, we want to fill our bucket up with all of the right things. And if any of you ever met with a dietitian, they're going to all say the same thing. Shop the perimeter of the store. Also make a list and never go to the grocery store when you're hungry because everything calls your name, and you tend to fill your basket up. I call that food noise. And I also tie food noise to the GLPs and the biggest trend that's hitting the market like gangbusters now with Ozempic, Wegovy, Monjaro, all of those items. And we'll talk about that later with the Q&A. But the food noise calls your name, and it really gets us to not eating the right things. And our biggest focus is what's for dinner, how we're going to prepare it, and then how we plate it. So my first suggestion always, whether you are on a GLP or you're just trying to do the right thing, one, don't eat on a run. Make sure you're always well hydrated, lots of water. Um, I have water at my table, at my desk at work. I have water in my kitchen here at home. I have water on my nightstand. I just have the one of the biggest Stanley mugs, and I fill it up with water every day. That has contributed to much of me keeping my weight down. And full transparency, yes, I have done a GLP. And we could talk about the effects of food noise and how it really suppresses the desire to eat the wrong things. And I am a supporter of it. I think it works. It is a place for people in society today who have struggled with the weight journey and how they need to lose the weight. I've seen it being very effective with men and women. It doesn't work on everybody, but for the most part, it's quite effective. But I want to get into the demo because the one thing that really helped me on my weight loss journey, I've lost 21 pounds. I'm a little short girl. I'm 5'3", but I needed to lose that menopausal weight that I've been carrying for a long time. And if you really want to know, I'm 65 years old. Uh, and very little makeup, but I'm 65, and that menopause weight, I just couldn't shake it. The flame that burns that metabolism and burns those calories, it was continue to go down, 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 down. And I said, I got to do something about it. My mom will be 100 next year. And I said, I want to do that same journey that she is doing. So I do that by eating lots of fish, lots of chicken. I minimize my red meat intake, but I want to share with you one of my most favorite seafood recipes is sumac salmon. And you say, well, what is sumac? Sumac is a spice. It's Mediterranean spice, but it's really, really big in Africa. It does have a very tangy flavor to it. If you cannot find sumac, what you can do is use lemon pepper. It has a very tart taste to it. You don't have to use a lot of it, but it's very tart like lemon. What we're doing with the salmon today is we're going to use a fillet of salmon. And what I like about this recipe is you can buy your salmon ahead of time, thaw it out. And what we're going to do is add a panko breadcrumb crust on the top. When you cook it, it is extremely tender, juicy, and delicious. Now, if you are gluten-free and you can't do panko breadcrumbs, we can also use pork rind. Yes, pork rind. It's not a lot. Don't say, oh, it's high in fat. This one has no trans fat, 6 grams of fat, but we're using really only a teaspoon of crumbs, whether it's breadcrumbs or panko breadcrumbs. So we're not using a lot of it. So don't think that it's going to bust your diet out of the window. It won't. Sometimes we need some of those fats in our diet because it adds the flavor to the food. So
Miss
the first
Roniece.
thing, yes.
Okay, so before we get started, do you want me, if there's questions, you want the questions to wait until the end, or are you
That,
willing to
yeah,
at the end?
yeah.
So
And
hold.
then I need you to give me a high five when I'm running out of time.
Okay, second question. This is looking really great. Is there any way you could give us a little more by pulling out the camera a little more? The one you're facing, zoom out just a little more?
This one?
Yes.
Okay, you want me to come closer in?
Push out. Push out. The other way.
Push away. The other way?
Yeah, push out. Yeah. If you can, push out some more.
Okay.
So I can see you. It's just the table in front of me. We want to see what you're cooking in front. Is that better for you?
That would be this camera right here.
Yeah,
That would
that
be my,
camera isn't on right now.
really, I'm surprised by that. Okay. All right. I will have to,
Yeah,
okay.
right there, right there, right there.
Okay. All right. Y'all know what I look like. So,
Yeah, you look
yeah.
great. You already had
Yeah,
us at
yeah.
65. We could have wrapped it up right there, but just go ahead.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so let's jump right in it. I have a bowl of about 2 cups of panko breadcrumbs. And what I do is when I make this, I put it in an airtight container like this, and it keeps for weeks. And when I'm ready to cook my salmon, all I do is thaw my salmon, put that topping on it and brush it with the horseradish, and dinner is done in 10 minutes. And at the end of the day, that's what everybody is concerned about. What's for dinner? How are you filling this bucket up with some healthy items and getting food on the table for everybody in 20 minutes or less? Because we come home and we're already tired. So we have our panko breadcrumbs. We're going to salt our salmon just a little bit. I use kosher salt. So we put a little bit of salt and black pepper on top of the salmon. And I set that aside for a second. So we make our crust. A little bit of garlic, fennel seeds. I love the fennel seeds, the flavor that you get in it. We're adding about 2 teaspoons of suman, uh, green onions, 1 green onion chopped real fine, lemon rind. We put that on a blade, and we did a mandolin blade and got it real fine and soft, and then chopped parsley. I use about half of a bunch of parsley. That's all that you have to do to this dish. You give it a quick stir, mix it up. You want it to mix really well. It's going to turn green a little bit, but it's still on the dry side. We're going to add some olive oil to keep it moist. So once I mix it, I add my olive oil. Let's open this up. Now, we add a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. If you have a lot of breadcrumbs, you could pour. It's not going to get soggy. You say, oh, she's going to have a really soggy mix, and you're not. It doesn't. It stays extremely dry, and it doesn't get all gummied up, even in the refrigerator. So the oil just kind of binds it together, and it adds the flavor and mix all the flavors together. So you want it to look like this. And if it's still not wet enough, which it's not, I'm going to add just a little bit more olive oil to it. I don't want it to be sticky, but I want a little bit of moisture in it. So salt, pepper, parsley, sumac, garlic, and fennel seeds. That's all you really need in that recipe. That's it. And then the lemon rind adds that added flavor to it. What we're going to do with that next, let me move all of this out of the way. We're going to brush the top of our salmon with horseradish. That's where the moisture comes in. We just spread it on top of the salmon. You need probably a few tablespoons. That's about it. You brush it with a silicone brush. And that's how your salmon won't dry out once you put it in the oven. So if I was cooking this next week, I do the salmon, salt and pepper, brush it with horseradish. I open up the refrigerator and get what I made last week or this here, and I just sprinkle it on top. Your significant other will say, where did you buy this? Who cooked this? Because this is an award-winning dish. This dish actually comes from South Africa. And I saw it when I went to Cape Town, and I said, I gotta come home and make this. And I make it almost every week. My kids love it. My husband goes crazy over it. And this is the look that you want to create. That's it. You bake your salmon in a hot oven 8 minutes. I normally like to cook my salmon to 8 minutes medium. I don't like dried out salmon, so I'm gonna watch my watch. At 2 o'clock, I got to take this out of the oven. So my journey on a GOP also made me not have a love affair with some of the things that I love to eat. I am born and raised from Miami. I have Bahamian roots, and I love rice. I like to eat rice every day, come sun up, sundown. My grandmother grew up in Arkansas, and she lived near rice fields. So rice was part of our culture on both sides of the family, and they would even eat rice for breakfast in Dermot, Arkansas. And I said, "Whoa!" And I've learned to love rice, but my hips didn't like rice, and I started to gain the weight, and I became more pre-diabetic, and my A1C was going up. And I said, Roniece, you got to do something. You got to represent. So we got to figure out what is the cause. My carb counts were a bit too high, and I needed to reduce my rice, my bread, my potatoes. So got on the GLP, and it took the food noise away. Nothing was calling my name. I could go to the Cheesecake Factory and look at all that beautiful food and say, mm-mm, I don't want it. But the key behind the GLP, when you're eating, whether you're on a shot or not, high protein diet, low carbohydrate. Now, what are low carbs? Anything that's leafy and green. That's your salads. That's your romaine, your spinach, your green beans. Not iceberg lettuce, because iceberg lettuce has no nutritive value. But romaine, spinach, broccoli, anything that's dark, green, leafy, kale, arugula, spring mix. A lot of people say I eat salads, but I'm not losing weight. It's the salad dressing, my friend. If you're drowning it in dressing, turn that label over and look at any dressing that you buy in the store. I could pull out $20 right now. Every label will say 2 tablespoons of dressing is a serving. So we got to understand what a serving size really is when it comes to salad dressing. So we don't want to drown it with the dressing. What I recommend is put your salad dressing on the side and just dip and chew, and put more wet things in your salad, like strawberries, mandarin oranges, blueberries, raspberries. If you put wet fruit, mangoes, diced mangoes in your salad, now the wetness is there instead of drowning it with the dressing that adds more calories. And when you look at the label and you find out that I put so much ranch or so much Thousand Island or so much balsamic vinaigrette on it, you will find that the calories came from the dressing and not the salad. So the biggest help for me with my weight loss journey was I ate a high protein diet and salads all day long, and it helped. I actually lost 21 pounds in about 10 weeks, and now the food noise comes back once in a while, but the key to anybody in this room, if you've ever been on a GLP, if you are gaining weight on a GLP, it's because you've not embraced the food journey that you really need to be on. And that's what you need to pay attention to. You have to understand portions. And portions mean smaller plates, not a big plate like this. Small plates, small bowls, small cups. I would consider this a small bowl. I would consider this a smaller dinner plate, but many of us eat until we eat to the edge, but we want to eat on the inner circle of our plate and not pile it up high. I highly recommend getting a food scale, a simple food scale, and understand what your food weighs. Um, Most women need 4 to 6 ounces of meat for the entire day, not in one big sitting at Outback or a steakhouse. You want to continuously eat meat throughout the day, get a good portion of it in the morning. And I do that by eating a yogurt called Ratio. It has 25 grams of protein in it, and it just keeps the food noise out of my head, and I don't have that hunger mode to eat a big lunch. So I particularly like to graze all day with smaller meals. And I find myself eating my dinner on a much smaller plate, my lunch on a smaller plate, and it was a great assistance to me with my weight loss journey. Now, my snacks, I've learned to love edamame. Edamame is a soybean. It looks like lima beans, but it is a soybean product. You could buy it frozen in the freezer section. You could buy it with the skins on or skins off. It all depends on how you like to eat them. You still got to pop the skins open. It's more work. I prefer mine with the skin off. So I'm going to show you how to do this one particular snack. I've already boiled it. So we're going to add a little bit of kosher salt to it and some cracked black pepper. That's all we really need for that. I put that to the side. Now, we're going to add some Asian spices to this. This is daikon. It's a radish that you can find in the Asian market, but this is pickled daikon that you could also find at the Asian market. And we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of daikon to the edamame. All right. And we're going to add some kelp or some wakame. We call it seaweed. The seaweed, excuse me, has a saltiness already to it. So we don't want to take the seaweed straight out of the bag. I dropped it in hot water to rinse the sodium off of it. And we're only using about two tablespoons of seaweed in it, but we don't want the salt that came with it because it has a great flavor, but it's going to infuse into the edamame. We're going to add some slivers of red onions, but just a small red onion is all you need. And we're going to toss this together. And it makes for a great snack. Now, the reason why I like this as a snack or even as a side dish salad, because soy is a protein. It keeps the hunger pains from coming back and you stay full a lot longer because when we eat, we digest our macronutrients. Those macronutrients are carbohydrates, protein, and fat. Carbs are the first thing that give us the best energy that we need and the fastest amount of energy. Then protein digests, then fat. But when you're eating a heavier protein intake, you don't get hungry again. So now we have this already mixed up. Now we have to work on our dressing. This is a crunchy chili garlic sauce that you can also get in the market. It looks like this. It's not terribly spicy and hot. We're going to add some sesame oil to it and a sweet soy sauce. And this is the dressing that you need. Now, when I do most of my salads, I try to make sure I don't over wet my salad. So we want to mix this up. And then we're going to add it to the edamame. And we're going to toss it. And I'm not going to use all of it because I want to make sure I taste and stir. Taste and stir because you don't have to drown it. I should not see a pool of dressing at the bottom. We just want to lightly coat it. And that's all we want. We want to just get a hint of flavor from the soy because the soy has salt in it. The kelp has some salt in it. And we don't want to oversalt. When you oversalt, it's hard to get it out. Okay. And we got a light coating on here. And 1 ounce of edamame can hold you for a good period during the day. And we're going to try and see how well this tastes. So, oh, God, I wish y'all could taste this. This is absolutely delicious. You get the crunch from the crunchy garlic. You get the crunch from the daikon, the onions, and then you get the sweet from the soy, and you get the salty from the kelp. And it's just a mouthful of lots of delicious flavors. And I can't say enough of this. I could eat this as a snack or put it on top of my rice, my brown rice, or put it on top of my salad, and you got your protein collection for that particular meal. I like to round my numbers up because some people count protein in grams and some people count protein in ounces. If you look at your food label, 28 ounces equals, I'm sorry, 28 grams equals 1 ounce for your protein. I try to round my numbers up and keep the math real simple because I get a little slow a little bit. So I just rounded up 30 grams of protein, which is only two more digits. 30 grams is equal to 1 ounce of meat. So my goal for the day is to get in 120 grams of protein, which is 4 ounces of meat for me. That's it. And that's my goal for the whole day. So easy peasy. You got your edamame, you got your salmon. It's about ready to come out the oven. Oh, she is gorgeous. She is gorgeous. Let me move this out of the way so you guys can see. So that's my salmon. It is fork tender. It's really soft. I don't have to fight with it. That means it's medium and it is nice and pink all the way around. 8 minutes is all you need on salmon. If you're cooking your salmon beyond 8 minutes, you are drying it out and you're killing the flavor in it. So 8 minutes. Always make sure you're using Teflon, or not Teflon, but a coated pan that will be resistant to sticking. If not, another trick is get a spray bottle. This is a barbecue bottle, but I use this as my oil spray, and I use olive oil. I have one for sesame oil. I don't pour my oils on many items. I usually spray, and that also helps minimize my fat intake on my cooking, so I won't overdo it on my fat. So there are tricks to the trade. A spray bottle for your oils, coated pans to not use so much oil in your cooking, and also in your cookware as well. You could use the cast iron pans, or you can get a new pan that I really, really love. It's called Radical. This pan, it has a ceramic coating on the outside, and it allows me to toss my food and get things cooked really evenly. It's a little pricey, but what I will tell you, buy a new set of pans, especially saute pans. You might have to buy them every year or once every other year, because if they wear out, throw them away. It is truly an investment in your health. Fill your bucket up with healthy options. So it's your cookware, it's your dishes, it's your plates, your cups, your pans. All of those things collectively will help you have that bucket full of healthiness and great options with no guilt. So I'll take any questions that we may have.
Okay, let me see if there's any. What is the temperature for the salmon?
The salmon, I cook my salmon at 375 in a convection oven, a standard oven, 400, and just watch it, babysit it for 8 minutes. When you see the edges turn white around the edge of the salmon, that's when you know it's done. Some of the water has cooked out of it, and it will settle in the bottom of the pan. That's a strong indicator that you're close to ready to take it out of the oven.
Mm. I wish we had, I have a IT person in here. I wish we had the technology where I could reach my hand in there and grab a piece. You know how I'm sure that's coming. I can remember when I used to think about virtual physical therapy, and now it's here. So one day we will be able to reach our hands in here and grab some of that food. My question is that salad, can I do that with black eyed peas?
You can. I think you can actually put an Asian spice on any bean that you particularly like to try. I would
Uh-huh.
do a black eyed pea, and I would definitely try a black bean, because That's the new boom here. We just got a new H Mart. And for those of you what know H Mart is, it's an international market. It's heavy Asian influence, but it allows you to see lots of international fruits and vegetables that you've not been able to acquire through a standard grocery store. And it just expands your repertoire or your ability to add different types of food into your market. So I get this from that market, but Amazon got everything. You could get your crunchy garlic chili from Amazon, and you could get your sweet soy sauce from Amazon as well. This one is not salty like your regular Kikkoman's soy. So I like that because I'm not adding more salt to it. But I would definitely love to try that with black beans or black eyed pea.
And Miss Roniece, can you lift that bowl right above that salmon dish so we can see it a little better? Tip it to, yeah. Oh, yes, I can just imagine that. And with the red onions, that looks
Yes.
delicious. Okay,
And
so
then
there.
you finish it off with some toasted sesame seeds.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. So much nutrition, very nutritionally dense.
It's nutritionally dense and you won't get hungry.
Okay, so
That is
fiber
key.
too.
Yes, high in fiber. Beans are definitely high in fiber. It's our goal to get at least 30 grams of fiber in our diet a day, and we're struggling at that. We're not doing it.
Absolutely. That was mentioned early. Also, I'd like to add, if you don't mind, we had someone come and talk about menopause. Well, that particular bean is a great source of phytoestrogens.
Yes.
So that can help balance out hormones. It kind of plugs into those estrogen receptor sites and it can help manage some of those symptoms. There was a question about the pork.
The pork rind.
Pork rind, is that what that is? Crumbled up pork rind?
What's on top of this salmon right now is panko breadcrumbs. But for those who are gluten free and don't want to use the wheat breadcrumbs, you can swap it out for pork rind crumbs. You could probably buy the pork rinds and crumble them up yourself, or just buy this jar. It's crumbled up just like the panko breadcrumbs, and
Yes.
you'll get the same effect.
Yes, yes, thank you. And Wendy, I see you out there. I see you out there in the chat and your comment about the our beans high in carbs. They are, but some beans have a higher amount of or a balanced amount of protein and fiber, which
Yes, they do.
balances out that glycemic response. Is that right, Miss Ronice?
Absolutely. You are going to get carbohydrates from eating beans, but it's not high like eating bread and rice. There are many big benefits to eating beans in our diet. And to be honest with you, at the cost of food now in the grocery store, we need to eat more beans because that's the only way we're going to fill our gut up and also still full, get that satiety flavor profile that we need without overeating. So we do need beans in our diet.
Thank you so much. And Miss Ronice, can you pull your camera up just a little as we end, just so we can see your beautiful face before we leave out today? Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Um, that's looking at that food is making me hungry. Thank you so much. Perfect compliment to a conference talking about filling your bucket. Um, we understand that nutrition is a part of that bucket and helping our own personal bucket. It's filling our own personal bucket up so it helps our mood and how we feel and how we move about the day and how we present ourselves at work and interact with our colleagues and our family. We have to get good nutrition. And I hear
And we got to
fiber
teach the next generation.
and we have to. It's a must. It's a
Yes.
must. It's a must. Thank you so much. So much. Any more questions? We are and the recipe is in the chat. Thank you so much, Ms. Roniece Weaver. And we love having you.
Thank
We're
you.
going to bring you back again at a
Thank
future
you.
conference. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Y'all
All
have a
the way
great
from
day.
you too. Jackie, are you still here in the space?
I am.
Okay. Are you going to be sharing slides? Do I need to give you privileges?
Nope, there are no slides.
Why can't I see your face? Somebody help me. Let me see. There you go.
Yeah.
Um, Let me see. I'm gonna pin you where I am.
Okay.
Great. And let me introduce you. This is perfect. And for those who don't know, many of us already do. Jackie is a MESSA family member. She's just coming back for the reunion. Jackie Mass. She used to be a MESSA field rep. Some of you know her from your area. But today she is representing her company. She is the founder of Up Leveling Bliss, where she guides creatives, some of you, visionaries, and leaders to align their energy, intention, and action so they can create lives and work that feel deeply fulfilling, through online masterminds, immersive group sessions, one-on-one mentorship, and transformational retreats. Jackie helps people expand into their highest potential and lead from a place of clarity, purpose, and overflow. Jackie, this is all you. After 14 years in group health insurance here, Jackie brings a unique understanding of what's possible when leaders intentionally cultivate their inner state to match the impact they want to create in the world. She has trained and worked alongside some of the top minds in meditation, experiences that deeply inform the powerful transformation she facilitates for those she works with. How many want to sign up with Jackie right now? In this session, it's called Envision Your Bliss. Jackie will guide you through a simple, intentional practice to reconnect your vision, recharge your energy, and rediscover the joy that fuels your ability to make a difference. So she's going to help you cross over from hearing this information to be able to use it in practice. Soon as Jackie is done, we're going to give away the rest of our prizes and close out. Thank you so much, Jackie.
All right. Thank you, Rhonda. Thanks for the great introduction. Hi, everyone. It is really great to be back with Mesa and see so many names and faces that I know. So I am excited to lead you guys through both this nice meditative practice and also give you guys some simple practices, tips, things throughout your day that you can focus on to get your mindset to work for you instead of oh, I'm stressing, there's so many things to do. Do I have enough time? And to really bring that back and regroup and get to focus on the joy or the gratitude. And I know that today it was really about filling your bucket, being able to act from overflow, do things for others, and really tap into your own joy and your bliss. And so, some of the little intentional practices that you can do, one of the things is writing down or even speaking what you're grateful for each day. If you pick three things at the end of your day before you go to bed to write down and focus on and say three things that you're grateful for. If you have a journal and you journal on that, you have a notes app in your phone and you just write those out, you are going to be rewiring your brain to focus on the positive in life. And the more what you put your focus on is where your attention is going to be, and that is what you're going to get more of in your life. So, these are things that you can do, and you guys can even write in the chat if you want on some of the things that maybe you want to call in. Maybe you want more joy, maybe you want more bliss in your life, maybe you want to feel calmer or more grounded or have more clarity. Maybe you want to have more energy to act from and with throughout your day, that you want to be able to come home from a day and still feel inspired to go and do the rest of the things throughout your day. Maybe you want to have the energy and the clarity that when you are starting your day at work and you're walking into the school, to know that you're grounded, centered, and that you just have ample energy and you're operating from a sense of joy. So these are some of those things, is the gratitude practice at the end of your day, which will, the more you do that, the more your brain focuses on what it wants to see and what it's grateful for. And you will in turn get more of that because it is acting as a filter that we get in, I want to say, over 26 billion pieces of information that come in through our field, through sounds, sights, things that are coming into our brain and our system. And our body really only processes that with about 126 ability of like micro bits of information per second to process it. So you have so much coming in, and it's the filter that you're putting on of what you actually perceive for how you view your reality throughout your day. So these are things, if you are focusing more on the joy, more on the bliss in your life, more on the things that you can be grateful for, more on the things that you're doing for others, but that it really is coming from the sense within you that feels aligned and that you feel like you're more having the ability to respond versus just reacting. And I know that can absolutely show up when you are working with students and things throughout the day, when you have the buses coming and everyone's running around in the beginning or the end of the day or during lunch. And so these are practices that really help you have that ability to have more energy, more joy, and have an ability to really respond instead of feeling like, oh, am I reacting to something? So, what I would love to do is have everyone really be able to, I'll lead us through a meditative practice and where you really get to tune back into your body. And you can either close your eyes, you can keep your eyes open. I don't know if some of you are driving or if everyone, say if you are driving, just make sure that you are focusing on the road and maybe you don't fully participate in this. But if you are in a place where you're able to really center, relax, ground in, then find a comfortable position. If you have both feet on the floor, if you're sitting or if you're standing, that both feet are grounded into the floor, and just letting your body relax, noticing your shoulders softening, noticing any tension that you may have, that is releasing and dropping down, and then tuning into your breath and just noticing as you breathe in how that fills, how that feels, how your belly expands on an inhale. And then as you exhale, how your ribs come in and how that feels through your nose as you exhale. And not needing to change anything, just coming in, grounding into your center. And from this space, I now want you to feel both your body, if there's any parts of it that are asking for attention, and just notice that. It could be a hip, it could be a shoulder, and just noticing any part of your body and just giving that part of you your energy, your attention, your focus, and love. And then you can bring your attention to the room around you and notice any sounds that you may hear. If there is noise from the street, or if there's birds singing, if there's animals. And then bringing your energy and your focus and awareness back into yourself, back to your breath. And now I want you to visualize if everything was right, if nothing needed to be fixed or changed, and if what you desired were here, What does that feel like? And focus in on what you are calling in, any desires you may have, any projects that you're working on, whether that be at work or it could be something personal at home that really gives you joy, where that could be a hobby, that could be painting, it could be a sport, it could be something with your kids or the community. And bring your awareness to that. And if you are operating throughout your day as if what you are calling in is already done, how does this version of you walk throughout your day? Who is around you? How are you interacting with them? And noticing how you speak, how you move and carry yourself. And from here, what is one action that you can take that is simple and easy, that brings you closer to this thing that you are working on? And if you notice that, tap into how you are feeling and if there is joy there, and bring that joy into your awareness. And if you had a dial in front of you, if you could turn the volume of that joy up, and then if you could turn it down and tune it to the amount of joy that feels exactly right for you. And remember this feeling, that this is accessible to you at any time, anywhere, any place. And so from this joy, from this space, notice your body, and you can start moving your fingers and toes, and you can move your head side to side. And when you are ready, if you have your eyes closed, you can blink them open, and you can stretch if you want. And know that from this space, you get to operate and bring this feeling throughout the rest of your day, throughout the rest of your week, and that you have this clarity, this centering, and this calmness and joy that you get to operate from. And so just know that this is something that is always available to you, that this can be a practice that you take with you. And I didn't talk to Rhonda about this yet, but what I do want to share with you guys is I will record a short 5-minute meditation and share that out with the team to send to everyone who has been on this call or through the Worksite Wellness. That way you guys have a little practice that you could listen to and tap into to really bring you back to your center at any time throughout the day. That can just be a nice little shift and a reset.